In Magadan, a court considered 5 administrative protocols for displaying prohibited symbols against 66-year-old activist Tamara Kryukova. All cases relate to Kryukova's posts and comments on VKontakte social network. She was fined 1,000 rubles under each protocol. Kryukova was arrested for 3 days under 2 more protocols for a comment and a post with the slogan "Glory to Ukraine."
Этих дел становится все больше.
There are becoming more and more of these cases. The Russian security forces and different departments have their own monitoring departments. There are special people who receive money for this. They look for all sorts of posts, anti-war posts, not only anti-war posts, criticizing the authorities, posts that fail under the category of extremists, and depending on which department found this material, they either draw up some protocols or initiate criminal cases.
Kryukova served her 3-day arrest, but she was detained on her way out of the detention center.
The woman was under administrative arrest since August 25th. Yesterday she was released, but at the exit from the special detention center, she was again detained until the trial under the next protocol. Earlier it became known that a criminal case was also opened against Kryukova of justifying terrorism.
The Kirovsky District Court of St. Petersburg sentenced peace resistance activist Olga Smirnova to 6 years in penal colony in the case of military fakes. The reason for the case was, according to investigators, 7 anti-war posts on the social network. These publications, as pointed out by the prosecution, mentioned the turning of Ukrainian cities into ruins by the Russian army, the civilian victims of shelling in Zaporizhia, Kharkiv, Kyiv, Izium, the shedding of the memorial to the victims of the Holocaust Babin Yar in Kyiv, and the deaths of residents of Mariupol during the storming of the city by Russian troops.
And now we want to say something very unpopular among those who are waiting with learning hope for the holy moment of liberty. Russia will not be happy. A country that has caused Ukraine so much pain, so many deaths, so many irretrievable losses of values created by the labors of generations cannot be happy. And the list of losses is not yet complete, and the war continues to replenish it daily. Olga Smirnova, activist.
The materials of the criminal case, according to Net Freedoms Project, do not indicate which statements the investigation considered to be statements of fact, as well as whether these statements were connected with the actions of the Russian army. Smirnova refused to admit her guilt. The activist defense said she would appeal the verdict.
We do not agree with the verdict. Today only the operative part was announced. We did not see the motivations. In any case, we will file an appeal and accordingly we will focus on the motivational part of the verdict.
Mathematician Azat Miftakhov, who is finishing his sentence in a colony on charges of setting fire to the office of United Russia Party, will be detained again on the day of his release, media reports citing sources. According to a new criminal case initiated by the Federal Security Service, Miftakhov faces up to 5 years in prison. According to linguistic expertise, Miftakhov allegedly approved the explosion at the Arkhangelsk Federal Security Service in a conversation with 2 prisoners.
Это не первый случай, подобного рода.
This is not the first case of this kind, when for some statements behind bars, for some actions committed from behind bars, people are prosecuted. We can recall the example of Alexei Navalny. He has a whole package of criminal cases initiated after he was detained, arrested, after he returned from abroad, after being poisoned.
On August 17th, Rosfin Monitoring added Azat Miftakhov to the list of terrorists and extremists. The mathematician has almost served his term in first case. He is due to be released on September 4th. Reported by Yulia Bil, Pavlo Shtelmach, UATV News.